Roster changes are a constant in esports, and Call of Duty is no exception. Sometimes these changes are expected, such as when a player retires or moves to a different team. However, there are also times when roster changes come as a surprise, leaving fans wondering how the team will be impacted. In this video, we'll look at times that unexpected roster changes actually worked. First, let's go back to the Black Ops 4 season, when eUnited found themselves in a difficult situation. The team's performance to start the year was beginning to slip, and drama formed in the roster with Clayster and their new addition, JCap. Clayster and JCap won a championship in 2015 during Advanced Warfare, and were hoping to replicate that success in Black Ops 4, but that couldn't be further from what actually happened. After weeks of poor placements and internal conflict, eUnited decided it was time for a change. They released JCap for a rising, relatively unknown player named Simp. This decision raised eyebrows amongst fans and analysts, but eUnited's coach, Saint, saw Simp's potential and believed he could be the spark the team needed. Simp exceeded expectations, quickly establishing himself as the top player in the league. Simp meshed well with the team and brought the pace they needed going forward, especially with aBeZy earning the duo name Tiny Terrors. Together, they led eUnited to the grand finals of 3 major tournaments, winning 2 of them, including the CWL Pro League playoffs and the CWL Championship. They would even match up against JCap in the CWL Championship, getting this incredible comeback.
Right now for Evil Genius is 10 seconds away from moving on to our winner. Semi Apathy continues with the slam. 32 and 15. You can see the comeback happening. Money up. They're trying to rally back in. eUnited can get it to a map 5 here. There's no contest. And eUnited with the comeback.
And Clayster waved him goodbye. They went on to dominate this tournament, proving Simp was the perfect addition to eUnited. Simp's legacy was also solidified as he became one of the youngest players to achieve such a high level of success in Call of Duty esports. Simp and aBeZy still team together to this day, and JCap would retire in the following season. It's safe to say this unexpected change worked out in the best way possible. Nadeshot was the face of Call of Duty esports for many years alongside the King in the early 2010s. He made a name for himself on Optic Gaming, becoming the lead objective player and the brains of their search and destroy, building an incredible fan base around the team. Despite winning 3 tournaments back-to-back in the Advanced Warfare season, Nadeshot faced criticism for being the weak link to the team. Going into the biggest tournament ever of the year, COD Champs, Optic were the favorites to win the entire event. However, they had an underwhelming performance, placing 7th, and Nadeshot even pulled out the HBR in one of the games. This became a meme in the community, and Nadeshot faced even more backlash for holding the team back. The feedback from the Green Wall eventually got to him, and he unexpectedly decided to step away from competing in Call of Duty, making way for a well-respected pro named Karma. While Nadeshot's departure was undoubtedly a loss for Optic Gaming, Karma's arrival brought the team a wealth of experience and leadership. Karma's impact was immediate, as Optic Gaming's performance improved. The teammates won 13 major championships together, and their victory at the 2017 CWL Championship cemented their legacy as a dynasty.
The dynasty has been cemented. They are the greatest roster in Call of Duty history. Optic Gaming are officially the Call of Duty World League champions.
Karma's contributions to Optic Gaming demonstrate that sometimes bringing in a seasoned player can provide the guidance and stability needed to elevate a team to new heights. While it is sad that Nadeshot retired, it did bring about one of the most dominant rosters in Call of Duty history. Speaking of Nadeshot, he went on to form a team that still participates in the Call of Duty League today, but shortly after he left Optic, he formed a new team named 100 Thieves. One of the most impactful changes involved 100 Thieves, who swapped Firo for Priesta during the Black Ops 4 season. This seemingly simple swap had a ripple effect on the team's performance, dynamics, and long-term trajectory. Before we continue, spam F3 in the comments to pay respects. Following an inconsistent start of the season, 100 Thieves felt that it would be time for a roster change. Following CWL Fort Worth, 100 Thieves made a major decision to acquire Priesta on loan from FaZe Clan, with Crowder stepping in as coach. This move aimed to enhance the team's overall performance and tackle tackle perceived weaknesses in their gameplay. Nadeshot, the owner of 100 Thieves, elaborated on the decision to replace Firo, emphasizing the need for a shift in playstyle and expressing confidence in Kenny's ability to improve with Thematic's assault rifle. The Firo for Priesta change brought a noticeable shift to the team's dynamics. Priesta, known for his selfless playstyle and strong teamwork, quickly integrated into the 100 Thieves roster. Following the change, 100 Thieves went 5-2 in their first split and went into CWL Fort Worth with renewed spirits after their roller coaster beginning to the season. They won CWL London and Anaheim back-to-back, ultimately finishing 2019 CWL champs in second after losing to eUnited. The success of 100 Thieves following this change demonstrates that even seemingly small adjustments can profoundly impact a team's performance and long-term trajectory. Toronto Ultra entered the Call of Duty League with a rocky start, but they believed that with a few roster changes, they could find their footing. One key player for them was Methods, who is well liked in the COD community and became a centerpiece for the team early on, even clutching this insane 1v2 during a Game 5 Round 11 against Atlanta FaZe for the chip.
They come up with the clutch. Major Maniac's tagged up. Priesta makes it a 2 versus 2. Can they find the opening? Got 3 on the round. Priesta's got 3 on the round. What else can he find? 25 seconds, 7.5 seconds to defuse. Here goes Major Maniac. It's CleanX to deal with. He finds the opening. It's 1v1. It's 1v1 and Methods.
However, the team struggled through the remainder of the Modern Warfare season, making adjustments along the way, and ultimately began the Cold War season with a roster that included Methods, Cammy, CleanX, and Bance. Unfortunately, they were unable to achieve any solid placements at the start of the year, remaining a mid-pack to low-tier team. They decided to make an unexpected roster change after the Stage 1 major tournament, where they finished top 8, bringing in a respected player, Insight. The community was divided. Some felt that Methods was being unfairly dropped, especially considering calls for other players like Bance and Cammy to be replaced instead. Others believed that Insight could introduce a new dynamic to the team. So, did the change work? Well, it's safe to say that bringing in Insight injected new life into Toronto Ultra. They went on to win $300,000 at the Stage 2 Major with this new roster and became one of the best teams during the Cold War season. They placed second at the biggest tournament of the year to cap off their successful season, proving to be an excellent roster change. This change highlights a crucial aspect of Call of Duty esports. Sometimes a fresh perspective and a different playstyle can be exactly what a team needs to reach the next level. CleanX and Insight remain as a duo to this day on Toronto Ultra, now with Beans and Joe Deceives, and this roster change was the beginning of their duo-ship in the COD League. Let's take a trip even further down memory lane back to the Black Ops 2 season. The Complexity roster was in the process of building something special for this season. At the first LAN of the season, UMG Chicago 2012, Optic Gaming defeated Complexity in the finals. This led to an altercation between Aches and Nadeshot during post-game handshakes. Aches remained the team captain, but Fears was dropped in favor of Too Quick for the next event. Too Quick had been competing since MW2 and was turning heads in the pro scene, and Complexity considered him an upgrade. After finishing in 4th place at both MLG Dallas 2013 and the Call of Duty Championship 2013, Too Quick was let go, and Clayster was brought in from Unite Gaming to become part of what would turn out to be one of the greatest rosters in Call of Duty history. The new roster was Crim6, TP, Clayster, and Aches. Clayster's addition to the team is considered the catalyst for their dominant run, and it's safe to say this was literally the start of the first ever real comped COD dynasty. Complexity was incredibly successful in Black Ops 2, winning the majority of the tournaments they entered. The team would win the next 2 events, Gfinity 1 and UMG Atlanta 2013. Unite Gaming would top Complexity at the MLG PAX Prime Invitational, but the team would bounce back and win the final 3 events of the season at Gfinity 2, MLG Fall Invitational 2013, and ESWC 2013. The change of Too Quick for Clayster will go down as one of the best roster changes in COD history. The most recent unexpected roster change occurred with Vancouver Surge during the Black Ops 6 season. Initially, the roster was 04, Abuza, Nasty, and Hixie. This team was solid on paper, but their gameplay didn't translate into Major 1 qualifiers. They made the season with with a 4-3 record, placing 7th, and there was hope that things would improve as the year continued. However, in the first minor tournament of the season, Surge fell to 9th place, only a foretaste of what was to come for Major 1 in Madrid. In the tournament's first round, Surge was eliminated by Rocker, and one thing was evident: Hixie, one of their primary players, could not keep up with the rest of the league. He had a .80 KD and was getting outslayed nearly every map. Neptune, a talented SMG player, had been making waves in the Challengers League after a challenging period with NYSL and LAG. His impressive performances caught the attention of several CDL teams, but the Surge ultimately secured his services for Major 2 qualifiers.
Ali's favorite player, he goes by the name of Neptune. Welcome back to the CDL, young man.
I mean, I guess you could say that at this point. I really liked this Vancouver Surge squad in general, but Neptune, man, it's one thing to bring in a Challengers player and just be like, hey, like, we need a little bit more pressure, we need to get better in this specific category, but it felt like with Vancouver Surge, it was just like, we need engagements, but Neptune brought so much more than that. Like, you can tell on the minimap as well that, like, he understands the timings, he understands the feel of this game, like, easily one of the top players that we have right now in the league.
Yo, shout out to Joe, our replay op. This is awesome to see a long life from one of our players.
His experience competing with top talent in North America gave the Surge confidence that he could smoothly transition to the CDL. This proved a great decision, as Surge made an incredible bracket run during the Minor 2 tournament, placing 2nd after falling to FaZe in a Game 7 in Grand Finals. He has brought new life into Surge with a 1.17 throughout the qualifiers and a 1.01 KD during the Minor 2 tournament. Only time will tell if this pays off in the long run, but so far, Neptune is everything Vancouver Surge needed. Roster changes are a normal part of the esports landscape, and Call of Duty is no exception. While some changes are anticipated, others come as a surprise, leaving fans and analysts to speculate about their potential impact. All these unexpected changes demonstrate that shaking things up can sometimes be the catalyst for success. Ultimately, roster changes are a gamble, but the most surprising roster changes can lead to extraordinary outcomes. If you enjoyed this video, watch CDL records that no one wants to break next.